Thanks to the most popular car show on the planet, we know that driving fast has never killed anyone. Suddenly becoming stationary. That's what gets you. A lot of people take this piece of wisdom to heart and try their very best to ride as quickly as possible, hoping to somehow avoid becoming too stationary. However, thanks to the same show, we also know that speeding is a bit like farting. You have to know when it's inappropriate. So today, let us educate ourselves on road etiquette and learn exactly when it is inappropriate. Speeding, that is, not farting. Because speeding on the road, even in small and generally social acceptable amounts like plus 10 miles per hour, does come with a few hidden problems that can easily turn our very fast ride into a sudden stop, the very thing we try to avoid. Let's take a look at a few examples.
Local है.
At first glance, it might seem that in all cases motorcycle riders were in the right. They had the right of way and the car drivers should have let them through. But that's in theory. In practice, in situations like this, a driver often isn't aware of the approaching rider simply because he does not expect them to be moving at such a high speed. It happens all the time. One of the most common crash scenarios is a car turning left in front of a bike on an intersection. If the bike is approaching at a high rate of speed, the driver will have a really hard time noticing it, especially considering how small motorcycles are compared to cars. A driver can easily mistake the bike for a distant car and pull out. And considering the absolutely abysmal average quality of drivers today, the bike doesn't even have to be speeding that much. Or let's have a look at overtaking on a simple two-way road. An oncoming driver might decide to pass the car in front of them, fail to notice us, and if we are going much faster than the typical speed for this road, the chances of suddenly playing Red Baron with an oncoming car drastically increase. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, when speeding, not only do we have less time to react to some idiot suddenly appearing in our path, but we also meet those idiots more often, because the faster we go, the less predictable we become to other drivers, and the more mistakes they make. On top of that, when speeding, we have a physics problem to deal with. We all know that braking from higher speeds takes longer distance. However, not all riders understand the scale of the problem. Let's say we are moving at 40 miles per hour and decide to stop. Under perfect conditions, dry warm pavement, and assuming we actually know how to brake quickly, we will stop in about 53 feet. Or how they say in France, la 16 meters. Now, from twice the speed, we might instinctively think we'll stop in twice the distance. But apparently, Sir Isaac Newton's wife left him for a biker or something because he was pretty pissed off and made braking distance proportional not to speed, but to the square of speed. So stopping from 80 miles per hour isn't 32 meters, but 65 meters, which is 213 feet for the rest of the world, apart from France. Our speed doubled, but the braking distance quadrupled. This means even a small increase in speed makes our braking distance significantly longer. For example, going from 40 to 50 miles per hour increases the braking distance from 53 feet to 84 feet. And that's just the braking distance itself. We also have to remember that the rider has a certain reaction time, which varies from 0.2 seconds in case he's prepared to brake, up to a whole 1 second if he has to brake unexpectedly. During this reaction time, at higher speeds, the bike obviously travels much further before we even start braking. Let's visualize how much difference just 10 miles per hour makes. Suppose we have two bikes side by side. One is moving at 40 miles per hour and the other at 50. They both suddenly see an obstacle, caught by surprise, and have a reaction time of 1 second. In this scenario, if the first rider stops completely right in front of the obstacle, the second one hits it at 37 miles per hour, although the initial speed difference was mere 10 miles per hour. Seems counterintuitive, but that's how physics works. And we see countless real-world examples confirming it. Even though obstacles rarely materialize out of thin air like in our thought experiment, we see lots of videos where a rider was just a bit too fast or took a fraction of a second too long to react, and ends up in the fender of the car in front, despite the small difference in the initial speed. So, considering all this, even a seemingly unimportant 10 miles per hour increase should not be taken lightly. If we want to ride a bit faster than the rest of the traffic, we need to be really careful. Look far ahead, anticipate traffic behavior, always have a backup plan for where to go if the vehicle in front suddenly slows down, and be 100% ready at all times to brake immediately. Plus, we must remember that increasing our speed relative to traffic exponentially increases our risks. A little bit of speeding might be somewhat compensated by good awareness and sharp reflexes, but at some point, no amount of skill will matter, and that point usually isn't very far away. So, the game of playing Valentino Rossi on public roads is rigged and not in our favor. Before we wrap up the video, I want to take a moment to thank our sponsor, Ultramax Cell, the brand behind the thermal base layers you've seen me wear in many of my videos. These aren't just ordinary shirts with a fancy texture. They are made from a unique polypropylene fiber with a 3D honeycomb structure. This design gives the shirt a compression fit, so it stays perfectly in place, and it helps your body stay comfortable in any weather. In the heat, it pulls moisture away from your skin and boosts evaporative cooling. With ventilated gear on top, you stay noticeably cooler and drier. And in the cold, the same honeycomb structure traps warm air around your body, giving you better insulation than typical thermal layers. Ultramax Cell really does go a step above a normal base layers, so if you want to check them out, there will be a link in the description. And that's it for today. As usual, thank you very much for watching, ride safely, and have a wonderful day. Bye!